Welcome back to Cooking with Tammy Live. I'm Tammy, and today I'm going to show you how to make my delicious, out of this world, cheesy, meaty mac and cheese. Yes. First of all, who doesn't like mac and cheese? And better yet, who doesn't like meat? Add the two together and guess what? You're going to have something that's absolutely out of this world. So without further ado, guys, let's introduce our ingredients and get started. Alrighty, I have my ground beef right here. Today we're using ground beef. However, this recipe is universal enough where you can use ground pork or even ground turkey and even ground chicken. Yes, you can. And I also have some diced onions, ground black pepper, garlic powder, as well as some salt, and a beef bouillon cube because I'm using beef. If you're using chicken or turkey, you can always substitute the bouillon cube with a chicken bouillon cube. I also have some green parsley, as well as onion powder, smoked paprika, and I have some cheddar cheese right here. I also have some cooked elbow macaroni, as well as Velveeta cheese, and of course, some cream cheese, guys. And I have an Italian blend of 6 cheeses in this bowl right here. Trust me, when I say everything is going to be awesome, it's going to tie together perfectly, guys. It's going to be so mouth-watering. Alrighty, anyway, without further ado, we are going to add some oil to our skillet, which is already hot and ready to go. The reason why I'm adding the oil is because I have the 90% lean beef. However, if you have regular ground beef, you don't have to add oil because obviously beef creates its own oil. To this pan, I'm going to add my diced onions. I just love the sizzle when you add anything to hot oil. To me, it just signifies it's time to get the job done. It just says to me, we are cooking and we didn't come to play. And we're just going to give it a good toss. Allow those aromatics from the onions to be released. And so far, everything is looking great. Into our onion mixture, we are going to add our ground beef. And of course, we are gonna incorporate it with the onions. So we're going to keep mixing it and combining it. So that way everything could be combined with the onions. This meal, guys, is not only absolutely delicious, but it's definitely cost efficient. So far, the meat is about, I would say, honestly, about 95% brown. We have a small portion that we still have to brown, and we are almost there. This recipe, guys, takes no time to put together. Honestly, you will have dinner on the table in no time at all. And that is the great thing about it. All right. It's time to add some flavor to this meat, guys. We can't have our meat unflavored and unseasoned, right? All right, so we're going to add some salt. Of course, you're going to add salt to taste. You're not going to add too much, though, however. We're also going to add some ground black pepper, as well as some garlic powder, of course, as well as our onion powder. We're going to make this meat saucy, guys, and smoked paprika, of course. And we have our beef bouillon cube. You don't have beef, add chicken. Whatever you have, add it. No need to be afraid. It's not going to mess anything up. I know sometimes with cooking, you think if you're going to add like one thing, you have that surety first of all. And you say to yourself, if I add that one thing, it's going to mess up the whole pot. Sometime, depending on what it is, it's not going to mess up the pot. Or if you think it is, why not just take a little portion, try it, see how it works out. Before honestly, before you mess up the whole pot, so to speak, if you're scared. And yeah, you take it, basically you try it like that. If it works out, guess what? Add it to the whole pot. If it doesn't work out, then obviously you're going to subtract it. But if it's seasoning, it's a possibility. You're not going to cause nothing. Ain't nothing going to happen. is gonna be all good. Continue combining all of the seasonings with the meat because you want this meat to be delicious. Delicioso. Also, this meat is your base. So if the meat tastes good, right? Anytime you're dealing with your base has to be everything when you're dealing with cooking. If your meat tastes good, then whatever you add to the meat is gonna be spectacular. It can only get better. Now, if your base is bland, then your food, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna lower the heat just a bit. Into this meat, we are gonna shuffle things over just a bit. And guess what? The meat is finally cooked through and good to go. So I have some cooked elbow macaroni. I'm gonna add it to the pan. Add as much elbow macaroni as you need to accommodate the amount of meat that you're working with. If you're only working with 1 pound of meat, then you add accordingly. Incorporate everything. Add just a little bit more elbow macaroni and try to make sure the ratio to macaroni and meat is perfect. Turn my flame down on low. Since all we're doing at this point is incorporating the ingredients, and what we are going to do as of this point is, guys, we are going to start adding our cheeses. We are going to start off with adding our cream cheese, guys. The cream cheese, believe it or not, is going to make the creamy, cheesy mac and cheese, or should I say meaty, cheesy mac and cheese, even creamier. So we're going to add the cream cheese as well as our Velveeta. Keep the flame on low. Allow everything to break down. And we are also going to add our cheddar as well. Add that cheddar. Yes. All right, we're gonna come back and add even more as necessary. We're gonna also add our Italian 6 cheese blend. And I know cheese could be expensive, but don't be scared, guys. I know, like, with the situation going on right now, you're like, okay, I need to save as much money as possible, you know? However, the cheeses were pretty much on sale. You could get like literally 8 ounces of the Italian cheese blend for about, depending on where you live and the market, you know, the market that's basically selling it. But you can get like a bag of the 6 cheese blend from anywhere from about $2.99 to $3.99. The cheddar, same thing, as well as the cream cheese. The cream cheese is it's not too pricey. It was under $5, to be honest with you. As well as the Velveeta, and so on and so forth. Alrighty, guys, I am going to continue incorporating the cheeses with the meat, and I'm also going to get a little bit of beef broth and I'm going to add it to our mixture, and I will be right back and we'll pick up where we left off. Hey, we are back, and this is where we are so far. As you can see, everything came together nicely. What I did was, off camera, I realized that the cheese And the pasta and everything else was a little bit, a little bit tight, so to speak, but I wanted more of a looser texture. So what I did was I added some beef broth. Yes, I did. And I also added some water and it loosened it up a bit. However, guys, if you run into the same situation where, it's hard to combine all of the ingredients because the cheeses and everything becomes a little bit resistant, what you need to do is, as I mentioned, add some water if you don't have beef broth. If you want to add both, you can. Also, you can also add chicken broth if you don't have either, or add vegetable broth. Totally up to you. Get it to the consistency to where you're comfortable and where you and your family would enjoy it. All right, not a problem. So far, this is the consistency that I'm looking for. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm just gonna stick this right here. And as of this point, I am gonna add a little bit of dry parsley for garnish as well as decoration. And I have my casserole dish here, guys. The reason why I have my casserole dish is to show you guys basically, if you wanna stop here at this point, feel free. Indulge, enjoy, dig in. However, if you wanna place it into the oven, all you have to do is transfer whatever's in your pan or your skillet into the casserole dish. Hit it off with a little extra cheese, whether it be cheddar cheese, Italian 6-cheese blend, whatever cheese you may have in the fridge. I don't even care if it's American. American cheese, Gouda cheese, doesn't matter. Hit it off, place it into the oven, allow the cheese to melt, take it on out, and dig in. So either or, the preference is totally yours. But I'm gonna stop here, and that's it. Yes, guys. So as of this point, I am gonna plate it, dig in, and let you know exactly what I think. I had to bring you up close for up close and personal shot. Yes, look at how beautiful our delicious cheesy meaty mac and cheese is done, guys. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to dig in. Time for the moment of truth. It's taste test time and I cannot wait. My mouth is definitely watering and I am ready to dig in. But first, look at how beautiful. And guess what? It took us no time at all to put together. Wow, smooth and creamy and absolutely delicious. Definitely rich, very rich in flavor. And that's obviously from the base of the meat and everything else, not to mention the different combination of cheeses that we added. The cream cheese gives it a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. It's beautiful. Oh my God. It's absolutely delicious, guys. Absolutely delicious. Your kids as well would definitely love this recipe. What else can I say? What else can I say? Everything came together absolutely beautifully. It tastes so good. Anyway, guys, as I mentioned earlier in the video, substitute with whatever. Substitute with different meats, you know what I mean? Substitute with different cheeses. It's totally up to you. You can even swap out the elbow macaroni with rotini shells. Yes, it's so many different things. You could play around with this recipe. Basically, grab whatever pasta you have in the cabinet, because I know, guess what? We always keep pasta, rice, and certain things in the cabinet. Grab it out the cabinet. You have some cheeses, or if you don't have cheeses, the only thing you have to buy is that. Add the meat and the seasonings, and you are done. You have a meal that can feed over probably like 5 to 6 people in no time at all. Anyway, full recipe details, of course, cookingwithtammy.recipes. I will leave the link, full description, pictures, and all of that cool stuff. And guys, of course, it's been a pleasure. And until next time, catch you in another video. Bye, guys.